Hi, welcome to Candy Reviews channel. Please subscribe my channel and share your friends. So, let's start this video. Sceptre 24, Professional Thin 75Hz 1080p LED Monitor 2x HDMI got built-in speakers, Machine Black, E248W19203R series. Thanks to its VI vertical alignment panel, the Sceptre E248W19203R boasts a high static contrast ratio of 3001. As a result, you get deep and inky blacks, making for an immersive viewing experience, especially in dark rooms. Further, it has a peak brightness of 250 nits, which is minimal as far as modern LED backlit monitors go, but it can get more than bright enough under normal lighting conditions. If you have a particularly bright room or you plan to place the monitor next to a window with no blinders curtains, the screen might not be able to efficiently mitigate glare. As far as color reproduction is concerned, the Sceptre E248W19203R monitor covers 95% of the sRGB color space. sRGB is the standard and most widespread color space, so the majority of web content and games will be depicted accurately. There is no noticeable difference between 95% and 100% sRGB gamut coverage, that is unless you're doing professional color critical work. However, VI monitors shouldn't be used in this scenario in the first place due to their viewing angles. While you get significantly wider viewing angles in comparison to Tennessee panel monitors, there are still some gamma and saturation shifts present when watching the screen at an angle. For video games and multimedia consumption, it's not an issue, but if you want professional-grade color accuracy at all times, you should get an IPS monitor. It's also worth noting that the Sceptre E248W19203R uses temporal dithering to provide 16.7 million colors, 6-bit plus 2-bit FRC. This can sometimes cause a 30 Hz flicker, but most users won't be bothered by it, as it's very hard to notice, unless deliberately looking for it in certain test patterns. Moving on, the monitor has a full HD screen resolution of 1920x1080 pixels. On its 23.83 viewable screen, that results in a pixel density of 92.56 ppi, pixels per inch. You get a decent amount of screen real estate, as well as fairly sharp details and text. Obviously, the picture is not as crisp as that of higher resolution monitors, but it's also not as pixely as is the case with 273 1920x1080 displays. The Sceptre E248W19203R has a maximum refresh rate of 75 Hz. This provides you with a subtle but noticeable boost in motion clarity, in comparison to the standard 60 Hz. In order to take advantage of the higher refresh rate, you'll also need a suitably high frame rate, which shouldn't be an issue for most graphics cards, as 1080p is not very demanding. Input lag is imperceptible at 10 milliseconds, so you won't be able to notice or feel any delays between your actions and the result on the screen. Next, the monitor has a GTG, gray-to-gray, pixel transition time of 8 milliseconds. Since it's only a 75 Hz display, most transitions will be able to keep up with the refresh rate, resulting in a smooth gaming experience without prominent trailing behind fast-moving objects. In darker scenes, you might be able to notice some trailing ghosting due to slower black-to-white pixel transitions, but it's tolerable or even negligible, depending on how sensitive you are to it. Of course, if you plan on mostly playing fast-paced first-person shooters, you should definitely get a faster display with a Tennessee or IPS panel. For the best response time performance, make sure the overdrive option in the OSD on-screen display menu is enabled. Additionally, the Sceptre E248W19203R supports adaptive sync with a 48 to 75 Hz range. So, if you have an AMD FreeSync compatible graphics card, you can synchronize the monitor's refresh rate to GPU's frame rate. As a result, all screen tearing and stuttering will be gone, as long as your frame rate remains within the supported 48 to 75 Hz range. You might be able to extend the range a bit by using CRU custom resolution utility. You cannot use adaptive sync FreeSync with NVIDIA graphics cards on this monitor, as there's no DisplayPort input. The HDMI ports on this monitor don't support NVIDIA's G-Sync compatible technology. At the rear of the monitor, on the right side, you will find 4 hotkeys for OSD menu navigation, as well as the power button. The menu is simple and easy to use with various adjustments available, including the standard brightness, contrast and color temperature controls, as well as some advanced tools, such as gamma, sharpness, and 6-axis hue saturation. There are also a few pre-calibrated picture presets. User, Standard, Movie, Eco, FPS and RTS, though we recommend sticking with the user mode and adjusting the brightness to your liking. The backlight of the monitor is flicker-free, and there's an integrated low blue light filter called Blue Light Shift in the menu, allowing you to use the screen for extended periods of time without getting eye strain or headaches, assuming you take breaks regularly. The stand of the monitor is fairly sturdy, but only offers tilt adjustment by -5 degrees 15 degrees. Alternatively, you can detach the screen and mount it via the 100x 100mm pattern. Further, the screen has a matte anti-glare coating that prevents reflections. Connectivity options include two HDMI 1.4 ports, a headphone jack and two 2W integrated speakers for basic sound output. If you can't afford a 144Hz monitor or the PC specs required to properly utilize it, consider the Asus V824DQ with an IPS panel and a faster response time speed. It also has a DisplayPort input, allowing you to use FreeSync with compatible GeForce cards. In case you plan on doing some content creation, we again recommend the V824QD due to its IPS panel with better color accuracy and consistency. The main asset of the E248W19203R is its high contrast ratio, so if you watch a lot of videos or play a lot of graphically oriented games in a dark room, it will suit you better than the IPS variants. All in all, the Sceptre E248W19203R is a decent budget monitor, but there are better alternatives available for the money, that is if you can find them at their original non-inflated pricing. Thanks for watching.